This video is going to show how to manually post to the general ledger with your inventory receipts. So we're going to go to our purchase orders, create a PO, specify my vendor, and I can specify my product. So we're going to order 1 unit of this for $70. I'm going to confirm the PO. On the order line, we can see the quantity we ordered, the quantity we received from our supplier, and then the amount we billed for. So based on these amounts being updated, it will change the status of our next steps in the purchase system, as well as our accounting system. So we can receive directly from our purchase app, or we can go into our inventory app as well. This product has a lot number on it, so I can assign it a lot number or scan in a lot number as well. So once I validate this, I can allocate it to a customer. I can see my traceability report. When I go back to my PO, we then see the status of the PO change. We see 1 unit received. Note, this did not touch our general ledger yet. We now see that we have not billed for it or created the bill in the system, which is then going to post our entries. So I can come here and create the bill, or I can go to my dashboard. I can see here receipts to approve, which is what bills I have to create. So I can select all and create the bills, or I can select one by one. So I can come in here and create the bill as well. So when I click create, it's going to ask me for the bill date, the date we actually received the bill, and then the accounting date, so the date we received the product. So I can go in and select the bill date, which I could say would be maybe the 8th, and then I can say here our accounting date is the 6th. When I confirm this, and then I register the payment, that's when we will actually reconcile that with our bank statement. But for now, we're going to see our stock received and then our accounts payable being hit. So we're crediting accounts payable and debiting our interim stock. So that's our suspense account for our inventory valuation. Now we can go into our accounting app. Note, we can see the vendor bill attached to the PO as well as the receipt. Time to go into accounting. We're going to go into our purchase journal. I can search the journal from the main dashboard, and I can see the bill I just created here for that $70. I can click in from the general ledger or our journal in the general ledger here and see our journal items associated with that as well. Now when I go to register the payment, I can specify the payment method and the payment date. I can also specify the currency. So I'm going to create that payment. It's going to now go in payment. When I go back to my purchase or dashboard, I can see what bills I have to pay, what bills I have to validate, and then any late bills. When I go into my bank statement, I'm going to manually create a bank statement. This will be synchronized with your bank accounts, and those bank statements can be synchronized daily, weekly, monthly, whichever way is the route you would like to take. So I can then add my transaction line. I'm just going to say withdrawal. You can also print checks from the system as well to pay your vendors. Keep in mind, all of these line items here would be automatically synchronized from your bank account, so you wouldn't have to manually create these bank statements in the system. I can save, and I can also post my bank statement as well. When I go back to my accounting dashboard, it's going to ask if I want to reconcile. It'll show me my outstanding payments that I marked on my actual PO or invoice or outstanding receipts, and then I can see the balance in the actual general ledger for our bank. So I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to scroll down to the one that I just created. So I can then go in and scroll down to my entry I just created and specify the matching record. It will also show any payments here and light them up in blue. So I can select the one I just created, match that, and then validate it. I see the rest of my entries I can reconcile, but I'm not going to do that right now. When I go into my vendor and payments, I can then see the posted payment I just created. I'll be able to see the bill, the bank statement, as well as the journal entry for that reconciliation. So when I click in here, I can see the outstanding payments being credited and then our accounts payable being debited. And on top of that, so when I go into that journal entry, I can go into the actual payment and see that, which is directly back into that same screen. If I go into my bank statement, I can see that too and see the withdrawal. I can then also go in and see that bill and see the journal items that were hit here. So our stock received and our accounts payable. So on top of the journal entry, so once we paid our inventory or created that vendor bill, I should say, it then in our miscellaneous journal, we'll see the valuation go from our stock interim account to our stock valuation. So we can see that here. I can click into the entry as well. So if I wanted to see this entry here, I can click into it. So I can see the journal items here. I can also see the reconciliation with the bill. So we see the stock interim, that suspense account from our bill that we created with the actual evaluation of our value of our inventory. So when we go back into here, that's that full journal entry. So our stock interim received to our stock valuation account. So we updated the value of our stock from the amount that we received. And that was all started by creating the vendor bill. So now I wanted to show one last piece of our reporting. If we go to our balance sheet, we can actually drill into our current assets. Our current assets are comprised of our asset accounts. So we have our outstanding receipts, valuation, stock interim, our suspense account, and we can see the value of those specific entries on the GL as well. So we can see the one we just created right here, our cable management box, and we can also see that entry in our stock interim as well. So if I go to my PO22, the cable management box, I can see that as well. So I can click into that bill here, view the journal entry, and I can see that here. I can also go into that other entry below and view that as well. So those are our two entries on the reporting aspect. I can actually get into the reconciliation of these entries as well and see those too. If I wanted to filter by journal, I can do that too. So if I wanted to see specifically my inventory valuation, I can see that here. And I would just see my two accounts here. If there's any additional questions, please contact samo@odoo.com. Thank you.